So tell me a little bit about this one right here.
So the Sunburst is, gosh, it's one of the first single cut with the bridge, the floating bridge. It's what I used for our most important songs of the night. You know, I use this for Blackbird. I use this for Cry of Achilles. This is my go-to for those, you know, when it's really counts. This
right.
is what I rely on. So what counts in standard tuning? This is my standard tuning guitar. Standard tuning a half step down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Standard for you is down a half step.
Yeah. Yeah.
Van Halen standard.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Van Halen set
exactly
that standard.
There's one song I do that's not down a half step. It's actually open D5 in standard. So relative standard.
Yeah. Relative standard. Okay. And so this signature was built how long ago do you think?
This was probably 2000, if I'm guessing 2002 maybe, 2003. Yeah.
That is shocking, man.
Yeah, and it's a beast. It's heavy. There's just something about it. It just sounds great, plays great. It's got a bunch of soul. And even though it's got all these chambers in here for the bar and everything, it's got a lot of weight.
Yeah, you know, that's what I really love about your signature guitar, because you can see the influence, but it's its own thing.
Yeah.
And it's so cool that, I guess during the process, did you and Paul just really kind of work through, you told him like everything you wanted?
Yeah, you know, we got together and me just being a picky guy, they'd send me guitar and I'd said, you know, I think Jeff Lanahan called me. He's like, we'd like for you to try out some of our guitars. I'm like, well, I have one of your guitars. I absolutely love it, but I don't play it on stage because the configuration is not what I'm used to. When I'm playing live, I want to be able to switch between pickups and everything's just what I'm used to.
You were a Paul guy back, back then.
Yeah. So they sent me a McCarty, love it, one of my favorite guitars ever. But it was a little rounder sounding, you know, it was more of a blues style kind of guitar, Paul style.
Yeah.
And it had just one volume and one knob on it, and the switch was down here. I was like, I just can't use it live, but I'll use it in the studio, I'll use it to write with. So like, all right, we'll send you another one. They sent me another guitar, loved it. But I'm like, again, I can't use it on stage. So like, all right, how about we just design a guitar for you and make it your signature model? And at that time, it was Carlos Santana was the only other guy at PRS that had a signature model.
Yeah.
So the kid in me is like, you know, sure. And the kid on the inside is like, yes, yes.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Well, and you were a kid.
I was a kid.
Yeah,
I was a kid.
Yeah.
And they sent me out the first guitar, and it looked like a blue whale. Had a big top on it and a little tiny lip on the bottom. Paul's always trying to, you know, do his own thing.
Yeah.
You know, he doesn't want to make a Les Paul. He wanted to make it a PRS single cut. So it took us a little bit of time to get through just the aesthetic of it.
Yeah.
And then we got into the neck carve. And the neck carve at first was just the traditional PRS neck.
Yeah.
And then for me, they would shave it down a bit, make it my specs. And then they sold it at first with just the PRS neck. And then friends of mine would play mine and be like, wow, this neck is great. Like, when are we going to get my neck on my guitar? So finally we did. So if you have one of the original neck ones, they're probably a collector's item because they didn't make very many of them. The ones with my name on the 12th fret, those are the rare ones too. Yeah. But we finally got it dialed in. And then over the years, we won't change much, but we'll have like different tuning pegs and different tuners and different aesthetics on the pickups.
Sure.
My pickup, when the guitar first came out, was not the signature pickup that developed maybe a couple years into it.
So what did you tweak pickup wise?
Well, this was just the Dragon 2, I believe, pickup for the neck. Like, we just kept that the way it is.
Yeah.
But with this the bridge pickup, we had them send out 10 pickups, each one wound tighter than the last, and we got through about 4 before I plugged it in and played. And my sound engineer out front was like, "Wait a minute, go back to that last one." And
so did you have like 10 guitars with different pickups in it?
No, I think we had 2 guitars and we were kind of going back and forth between the two as fast as we could.
Yeah.
And we got to that 4th one and it was a little edgier than I was used to. But we're like, wait, let's look at our EQs here and see if we can make this work. And we just took a little of the presence down and it cut so well. And Now I've had people, gosh, I forget, it might have been a few artists come up to me and be like, hey man, I got your pickup in my guitar, I love it. And
Yeah.
at the time it was one of the most tightly wound pickups out there before all the crazy, you
Right.
you had the Screaming Demons and that stuff.
Sure.
But then people went nuts with them. But
Yeah.
before people went nuts with them, it was one of the most high gain, high output pickups.
Yeah. Well, it's really been cool kind of just watching the whole progression. And I can't believe it's been 22
Yeah.
years.
Oh yeah.
God.
Absolutely. And
Yeah.
it's gone through so many different, the SEs and the,
Right.
there's 3 different levels. You can get the cheapest SE that everybody can afford, and they play great.
They play. I have. I don't know if I reviewed it or played it, but God,
Yeah.
incredible and like affordable guitar.
Yeah, yeah, and that's, to me, the affordability is huge for me. When I put out the MT-15,
Right.
I told the guys, I'm like, in a perfect world, we have a 5 before the price tag,
Yeah.
$599, whatever
Yeah.
you want to make it.
Right.
And we got within $50 of that when we released the amp, and
Yeah.
a lot of people lost their mind over it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sam Ash came up to me. I was saying earlier, we were at NAMM, and I think there were 7,800 products that came out, and I don't know how. I think there's a best in show for a bunch of different categories.
Sure.
And Sam Ash came over to me, and he's like, "I just wanted you to see this," and he pops the best in show right on top of the MT-15, and it was one of those moments.